Welcome to the MilSpouse CoffeeHouse podcast, where military spouses are free to espresso themselves.
So they were just coming on for chit chat, and I don't have time for chit chat.
Yeah, it's like my life doesn't matter anymore. And I guess that's part of being a military spouse, is being in La La Land for a little while.
That is precisely how this goes.
Your podcast baristas Leslie and Brittany have a latte on their minds.
Birds, if their babies ain't flying when they push them out of the nest, they don't go back for them.
Ooh, that's a good point.
We'll serve up some of the hottest topics in the military spouse community.
Kind of excited. I feel like I'm like a mature woman.
Yeah, you're a grown-up now. Sort of.
This is for all military spouses.
Even you.
You can sit with us.
Here are your hosts, Leslie and Brittany.
Wait, I don't know if I'm logged in as myself. I guess it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. All right. I believe I'm recording already.
It says recording.
Wow, great, because I have some like pop-up that keeps hiding everything. So Brittany, I guess we should say welcome to MilSpouse CoffeeHouse before I am just so excited that I forgot our intro.
Welcome to another episode of MilSpouse CoffeeHouse.
So as some of you know, this season we tried something new and we have surprise guests. So right now, if you are watching this on YouTube, you can see this. But if you are listening, it's me and it's Brittany. And Brittany looks like she's in the mountains right now. This is looking great. Brittany
This
has
is actually Whidbey Island.
now.
This is the bridge that you take to get on Whidbey Island, where I live.
Oh,
So.
okay. All like local and stuff.
Yeah.
Look at you. Okay.
I know.
I have Lula's ABCs in the background, so. But yeah, so it says that my special guest is Queen Elizabeth, and Queen Elizabeth, the picture, like the actual one, was up here, and right before we hit record, Lula's my kid. She's like, "Are you talking to your grandma on the computer?" So
Well, I did see a picture of Queen Elizabeth when I first logged in, so I can only see the word Queen Elizabeth right now. So I have no idea who we are speaking.
I'm super excited. So I'm not that extra. I could not pull off getting the actual queen here, but it sounds like something we might want to pursue. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any guesses? So let me give you a hint. This person is probably the only guest that is going to be a two-time, or that will be a two-time at this point.
Okay. I need another hint because
She's been here before.
Okay.
She's probably one of your top 3 guests that we've ever had, and that's why I'm really excited that she's here, because I'm excited for you.
Oh, if it's who I think it is, I was actually reading her blog earlier this morning.
And she does have a new blog up since the last time we talked. So should we reveal Queen Elizabeth?
Yes, Queen
All right,
Elizabeth,
let's do it.
come out.
I'm so excited.
Yay!
Yes!
It's the Paranormal Housewife.
It is.
Not Queen Elizabeth, but Elizabeth is joining us.
And the doll.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So, okay, Kelly, thank you so much for coming back on. We are excited. And yes, you are our first returning guest, right, Brittany?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Thank
this
you
is
so much for having me back. I'm really excited.
It's been a year almost, right? Has it been a year? Because we did Halloween last year.
basically.
Yeah.
And actually, when we were talking earlier, she was like, so am I supposed to wear a costume this time? Because last time, Brittany and I ended up like just last minute, like, let's make it festive. And then Kelly comes on and is like, I didn't get the memo. So
No, sorry. Hey, I'm so glad. I was actually just reading your, because you had paranormal investigators over at your house.
Yes, about almost 2 weeks ago, they came and actually did an investigation, and it was crazy.
let's get right into it. Tell us about who you are first, and give our listeners, because I mean, we're going to go on.
We know who you are, but just in case.
And then tell us about the investigation.
Okay. Well, my name is Kelly. I am a paranormal blogger and a paranormal investigator. I've been an investigator for over 15 years. I'm also a military spouse. My husband is a recruiter for the Marine Corps right now. And right now we're out in Illinois, and I blog about all things paranormal.
That is exciting.
Yay!
Actually, when my husband did recruiting duty, we were in Iowa, so kind of like the same-ish area,
Oh my goodness.
with lots of historical houses.
Well, There are definitely some historical houses, none in the village that I live in, but my house is one of the oldest houses in the village.
Nice. All right. So tell us about the investigation. What prompted you to do it, and what happened?
Well,
Oh, I'm so excited.
I talk a lot about the spirits that we live with, whether they are attached to the house or attached to haunted objects like Elizabeth the doll that I just showed y'all. I also have entities that are attached to jewelry. My father stops by occasionally. He's been dead for about 5 years. And I figured it would be a good idea to have a team that I've never worked with, never contacted before, come out and actually verify some of the claims that I've been putting out on my blog. And they're still going through their stuff, but they've already been started posting videos and stuff on their Instagram. And like, they captured a black orb in a completely lit up room.
Oh my gosh, a black orb?
Solid black.
I don't know that I've ever seen or heard of a black
If you go to
orb.
GhostNet Paranormal's Instagram page, they actually have the video. They have one of their guys responding to banging in the basement.
Oh my gosh.
While they were down there. To tell you a little bit about the basement, we nicknamed him Basement Demon. He's not really a demon. It's because my cat interacts with him most. And when we lived in Japan, she made friends with a water demon, according to one of our Japanese friends.
Oh,
Interesting.
wow.
So we named him Basement Demon. But they went down there and they actually saw they had set up a night vision camera.
I'm going to have to, I hear the microwave and it's just my kid here. So I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to just hit mute and you continue, and I'm going to make sure
I want to hear.
catch on fire.
So, okay, so wait, let me ask this question. Is this the same house that you were in last year
Yes.
when we spoke? Okay, so you haven't moved since then. Okay, because I knew you were having activity. I wasn't sure if you just like moved from one haunted house to another haunted house.
No, not yet. We'll be moving next year. Who knows where yet?
Okay.
But,
Well-
something else.
So, okay, so the basement demon, did you guys find out who he was, or are they still trying to figure that out?
We're still trying to figure it out, and they actually brought up a good point. It might actually be something we brought from Japan, because we don't remember activity while we were waiting for our household goods shipment to come in, and we do have a lot of our Japanese artifacts down in the basement.
Oh, maybe it is a water demon. Well, I mean, can a water demon be attached to something, or is it only water?
She was friends with lived in the toilet. It's called a kappa.
Okay. You know, I think I remember you telling us about this last time when we spoke, actually. Yeah, okay.
But they actually brought her in for part of the investigation down in the basement to see if she would lead them to anything, because they could see somebody pacing back and forth in the back part of the basement.
I just got chills.
No matter which way they pointed the camera, they could not get it on camera. It was purposely avoiding the camera.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, and then when we all left the basement, they left the camera going down there, and you could hear knocking and banging and like something rustling through the boxes.
So do you think that is it male? Do we know? Do we know if it's male or female? Do we know anything about that?
But I don't know for sure.
So camera shy.
I would also do that if I were the basement demon.
Go through boxes?
No,
Yeah.
not be on camera.
Oh, I'd go through everything.
Like
I'd be
this
nosy.
one.
I'd be like, let's see what's in this box.
Right, but I think that's a great idea, is to have like an unbiased third party come in, especially when you're making claims about things that a lot of people are suspicious of.
Right.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I get a lot of questions about Rampu, our haunted lamp, about whether it's firing or something like that. And I actually now have proof. This is a receipt. I took him to a place up here to get repaired. Did not tell the guy it's a haunted lamp.
Oh no.
And I was having some issues, and if he could repair it. The poor man went through, replaced absolutely everything inside of it, including the plug cord that goes into it. And He's like, okay, it's working now. I go pick it up. It tests on and off just fine and everything. I'm like, okay, well, maybe it was a wiring issue. Day of the investigation, Rampoos turning on and off by himself.
Oh my gosh.
He's back to normal.
It's so interesting because you talk about objects having entities connected, and I feel like you have like the Guinness Book of World Records of the most things that have attachments to them, because I've never heard of that many things in one place having them.
Lorraine and Ed Warren have a museum, and then now there's one in Vegas. Zach Bagans has one.
Oh, God. I don't like Zach Bagans. I think he's full of insert whatever curse word you want.
I knew that was coming because we briefly mentioned that the last time too.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have that same opinion who are in the paranormal world, which I watch the TV show. I think it's entertaining. So
I can't get through it. I keep yelling at him.
Yeah, he's a little dramatic.
Yeah.
Dramatic is a great word on that one. Oh my gosh. So, okay, so the blog covered that your house, your home investigation there. What else are you doing? Because I've seen you do other, like, what is the word I'm looking for, Brittany? What is the theme of the blog? Do you have kind of a theme, or is it just all?
It's all paranormal, right?
It is all paranormal. Brittany, that's not what I meant. Okay.
I write about what I go through living with spirits. I also teach how to ethically ghost hunt. Basically, don't be Zach Bagans. And I also talk about the history behind urban legends and haunted locations.
That's what I've been seeing on Instagram, is a lot of places, a lot of history. Because you're looking up stories and then verifying them more or less.
Well, I'm researching them and just trying my best to get different stories and stuff out there and the true things behind it. Like a lot of things that I'll see in not videos, but like movies and stuff. Like La Llorona, for example, the egg cleansings and things like that. I actually talked to people who do those types of cleansings and got the actual information and not the Hollywood twist.
There we go. Yeah, the truth behind the stories.
Yep. And then also with La Llorona, I talked to actual witnesses and families who have had experiences with her. And
I don't know much about her. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know much about her. Can you share some information?
Yeah, she is a woman who was, depending on which version of the legend you're talking about, she's either from Mexico or Central America. She was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I fell in love with the guy. And then she had 2 kids, and he seemed to be more interested in the kids and then started cheating on her. So, and just being completely upset, she ended up killing her 2 children and drowning them in the river. When she realized what she did, she tried to kill herself as well. Some say that she did. Some say that she was later killed by local townsfolk. But now if kids get too close to water at night, they'll see her crying and she'll try and lure them to the water to kill them as well to replace her children.
Oh.
And it's sad, but at the same time, it teaches kids don't wander near water.
Yeah, right.
So true.
Right.
Can I use that with my pool?
Possibly.
Like, listen.
Okay. La Llorona's gonna get you.
Yeah, that is a story. But it's like a lot of really big and why is it that the most tragic stories end up being like so active, I guess? Is it just because they had so much turmoil in their life? Because you always hear about tragedies like that, and then that's usually I don't know. Are there good hauntings? Like, are there great stories?
Oh, you mean like how they died or something? Like traumatic means more activity?
Mm-hmm. I've heard that when you die with a lot of emotion, or there's a lot of emotion directed at you when you die, that kind of gives you the energy to start haunting and things like that.
Okay. All right. I'll just keep that in mind.
Make sure everybody's very happy around you.
Right. Right. Because then I guess there are protective entities as well. You do hear about that. Like people that are just watching out.
Yeah, I mean, the one that I have attached to a ring, his name is Al, and he's been protective over my father. And then when my father gave me the ring, he's become protective over me. At one point, he tried to scare off my now husband when we first started dating.
Oh, wow. That's cool. How did he try to scare him?
He showed himself as a very large black shadow on the edge of our bed and was marching up and down.
Were you like, oh, don't worry, that's just Al?
It's Al, don't mind him.
That's basically how it was. I was like, Al, please, he's nice. Just let us go back to sleep.
Oh my gosh.
Now, why do you think people are, I mean, because they were people, why do you think that they get attached to artifacts like rings and lamps and...
Well, with Al's story, he was actually a Navy reservist in World War II, and he was serving on USS Rawl when it was hit by a kamikaze pilot off the coast of Okinawa.
Oh my gosh.
He died instantly on April 12th, 1945. That ship was brought back to Charleston, taken apart, basically sold for scraps, and some of the pieces from that ship were used on the USS Iwo Jima, which launched April 12th, 1965, 20 years to the day. My dad served on USS Iwo Jima.
Oh.
We
There's
actually,
the chills.
Yeah, I got him too.
as well. We actually had a different team. This was back when we were living in Jacksonville, so like 6-7 years ago. We were trying to figure out who this entity was because at the time, I didn't know he was attached to a ring. I just knew that he was following me around. I called him George because that's what me and my roommate had nicknamed him. But he told us his name. He told us RAL and USS, and we were able to look that up. And so I started asking questions once I did more research and found out about the Iwo Jima. And I was like, why were you attached to my dad's ring? And the spirit box, which is not supposed to cuss or anything like that, said crazy ass. I was like, so my dad was a crazy ass. Yes. Was the response. And we're like, yeah, that sounds about right. My dad did stupid stuff in the military that probably should have gotten him killed.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And so Al wanted to protect my dad and bonded with the ring that my dad wore every day throughout the entire Vietnam.
Okay, so it was your dad's ring, and then that's what he bonded with. Okay.
Yeah, he wanted to protect my dad. And my dad has said that throughout Vietnam, through the time that he was serving in Vietnam, both in the Navy and in the Army, and then when he became a police officer, there were instances where he should have been killed or hurt, but he was fine. He survived it and didn't get hurt. I mean, one of the times that I remember is he actually got dragged by a car. His clothes were fine. He had no abrasions.
What?
How insane.
So we credit this to Al actually protecting him.
Yeah. I mean, was everyone else kind of astonished by that in itself, just not having abrasions or torn up clothes or anything?
We were really concerned because, I mean, he got dragged the length of a parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh my gosh.
I actually witnessed it. It was right after we had dinner as a family.
Oh, pleasant.
Somebody robbed a drugstore beside the restaurant, and my dad was trying to stop them.
Oh my gosh.
And so,
Plot
we were
thickens.
concerned, but he stood up and he was perfectly fine.
Wow.
Okay. But this was all before we knew about Al. Once I told my dad what we were getting from the investigators in their spirit box sessions, he was like, okay, that makes sense.
Wow. All right. Well, I just got drugged by a car. Let's go get dessert. Like, no big deal.
Actually, they tried to take us to TCBY.
I was literally going to say TCPY because that's where I always went with my dad.
That's so funny.
That is hilarious. Wow,
Now,
that's
do you
crazy.
think that, because you said your dad has passed, do Al and your dad, or do they communicate with each other now? Like, are they on the same plane, or?
Funny that you bring that up because when we had our investigation here, one of the investigators came up here to my office with me, and we were going to try and talk to Al and my dad. And when they turned on their spirit box, we weren't getting anything. So I turned on my obelisk, which Al knows how to use and speak through. And so we were sitting there, we were like, well, can you try and use the spirit box? Their spirit box goes through the radio signals. And
Yep.
Listeners don't know. And the obelisk is pre-programmed with words. So we turned on both my obelisk and the spirit box, and you could actually hear him trying to figure it out and talk to it. And then he started saying my sister's name through both devices.
Oh my gosh. Do you have that on video? Like on
They have it on video. I'm waiting for them to give it to me. It's an hour-long file of the conversation that we had. And you can actually hear them at one point. Their speaker box, the one that goes to the radio stations, started doing sonar pings.
Oh, like the ship?
Wow.
Yes, and Al has done that before on my obelisk, so I knew that was him coming through. And again, if you go to their Instagram page, you can actually hear it. It's faint, but you can hear the sonar pings.
Well, when you get the footage from them, tag us in it, and we'll be sure to share it on our socials too, because that's so cool.
That is really cool. I am excited for that. Do we know when you're going to get that? Can we rush order it?
They're trying hard to go through everything. They were here until almost 3 a.m. that morning. So they have like 5 or 6 hours that they have to go through, and it's multiple cameras, multiple recording devices. So
yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, and they work full-time jobs, so trying to get everything done.
So what else are you doing? I know you do tarot readings, and then are you still doing investigations too, or?
I am doing investigations. COVID has kind of made things a little awkward. A lot of the things that I had planned for this year have been canceled. But I am trying to actually set up a few investigations in 2021 where people can come and join me. Like, I'm talking to Limp Mansion and the USS North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Just renting them out for the night, and they would be able to come, and I can show them how to use the equipment, and they can go investigating with me.
Oh, that's so fun! Oh my gosh, Leslie, if we are able to make it happen, we should go.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, let's do that. When is that?
Next year, some point, right?
Yeah, I'm still working on the dates because of COVID right now.
Everything is a mess, right?
I know. You know, we were going to try to do something, I think, this year with us, and it just, COVID has messed everything up for everybody. So we will get something on the books at some point for sure, because I want to do that. I'll be a chicken, but I want to do it.
I would totally do it. Also, I mean, on the bright side though, your card readings, which Brittany and I have both done, you can do via email.
Yes.
Right? So hold on, let me remember. So you ask the question and you have to take a picture of yourself. It's not filtered, y'all. You cannot put the filters on them.
Well, how do you know that? Did you try to do the filter?
No, but I remember Kelly very specifically saying, do not put filters on it because I have to see your real face.
Well, I have people who send me pictures with like the Snapchat dog face on.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I don't care how you look. I need to know what you really look like so I can really focus on it. And I've realized when I have the filters on the photos, I don't get as good of reading.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. So no filters on the photos.
Yep.
And email the question?
Yeah, you send me what you want me to focus on and the unfiltered photo, and then I'll do the whole reading. I send you pictures, one without the numbers and then one with the numbers, so that way you can follow along what each card means, and then I give you my interpretation of the reading as a whole as well.
Right.
Yeah, and so can you order, because I think before you didn't have the capability to order straight on your website. Do you have that yet, or is it still through just email or messaging?
I do it through social media or email.
Okay.
But I do Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, so.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, so on Instagram, it's the Paranormal Housewife, right?
Yes.
Or is it just paranormal? Is there a V? Is there a the?
It's just Paranormal Housewife on
you.
all social media.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, if y'all want to follow, definitely follow Kelly on Instagram. And if you want a reading, just slide into the DMs. 'Cause that's how you can do that.
Oh, Kelly, it's been so great to see you again. I've been following your blog, so it's been a good way to stay in touch with you. So
Yes,
I'm
this is a
excited
great
I'm
secret.
excited to see the what the investigators find when they dig more into their
I'm
material.
excited as well. Every day I get a new message from them saying, "Oh, we got this."
So and speaking of films, really quick, because we are going to have to wrap up here in a few. You have a YouTube channel now, right?
Yes, I do have a YouTube channel.
Nice.
It's also Paranormal Housewife. I mean, everything's the same brand name.
Yes, that's the way to go.
Yes.
Make it easy.
And, I'm actually going to be posting up next week. I went on vacation last week and saw Mothman and Lake Shawnee Amusement Park. So I'm going to be having videos go up next week and the following week of those two places.
So subscribe to that channel, because that's where you will get probably, from this footage from your house and basically everything that comes about, and the story about Elizabeth the doll. If y'all haven't heard that, I will put in the show notes to link back to our episode last year, and if you're watching, you can see her right now. Super cool.
What's on the numbers on her? What is that?
2000.
Oh, 2000. Okay.
Yeah.
That's her
Nice.
little sash.
Elizabeth and her sash. So funny. All right. Well, shall we wrap up, ladies? I mean, I know I don't want to. We could be here for hours.
I know. I feel like you need to come on again because I could talk about ghosts and paranormal and stuff all day long.
I know. I knew Brittany was going to be excited.
Welcome back on. I'm more than happy.
Oh, yay.
All right, Kelly. Well, thank you so much. Again, Instagram, YouTube, Paranormal Housewife. Go follow Kelly. And she also talks about other military spouses' ghost stories, because as we all know, our bases can be kind of haunted. So if you want to share your stories with us, we will share them with Kelly, and maybe you can get on both of our blogs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank y'all so much, ladies.